Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, and just as a reminder, I got TikTok and Instagram up. So if I lose y'all over here on TikTok, because that's usually where I have the most trouble at, y'all can come over on my Instagram and watch there. I'm a little tired as well. It's been a long week, and it felt like today just no breaks, just flew by. I posted that video, and y'all know how those things go. I didn't get a lot of views on it. If enough of y'all are interested in a book club T-shirt, I will open the order up again. Um, yeah. So y'all let me know if I get enough people seriously interested. I'll open the order form up again and try to figure out a way that everybody will know that it's up. Okay, are y'all ready to get started? Y'all ready to get started? You ready to talk about it? Cause not sure how I feel. I still don't. My mind was not blown away. I kind of felt like the what's the word I'm looking for? I kind of felt like the big reveal happened too soon, and there was still so much of the book left. I don't know if I felt like I found out what was going on too soon. And even though we did get a happy ending, I was still like, okay, it's great. Maybe it was just me. I kind of okay. So I had theories as I was reading. There was even a part of me that was hoping for a bit of a paranormal twist somewhere along the way. And but I was kind of like, it honestly, it never crossed my mind that Rachel was not a whole separate person. I was just like, maybe Sorrel, all the memories that she had of the accident were not hers at all. I kind of felt like maybe Ruth, which I don't understand the whole why she was pushing Sorrel to go try to do away with Theo, other than the fact that the two of them just did not get along. But I think maybe I was left wanting with this book. I feel like it didn't check all the boxes for me. Not that it was a bad book. I mean, it was good. It was good. Boys Dirty Talk was woo, Lord Jesus. But I guess I just kind of felt like the plot overall didn't hit all the right buttons for me. And I don't, look, I can't even, because I know I wrote some notes about these aren't her memories, or oh well, here's one. Whenever he confronts her talking about um where was it? You think that just because you've suffered, we know nothing about suffering. You think that our pain pales in comparison to yours. Your pain is so much more important than ours. You, so holier than thou, with your fucking orphan kid doctrine and your rules and your orders, with that white hot vengeance burning in your veins. Now, that was Theo talking to her. And that was kind of like early on in the book, you know, and he's pretty much already told her, I think. Oh, we were getting to that part because that's on the next page. Maybe. I mean, I guess it threw me off that he knew so much. Like, maybe. I mean, in the beginning. Of course, we all figured out why later on down the road. But in the beginning, when she's first at the school. And that's another thing. All these people that were in on it. Yeah. Because once. I think it was just to get them together again to give her a purpose. That crossed my mind too, to give her some focus, and because I know they were trying not to push her to remember all these things, and that crossed my mind. Like maybe Ruth was kind of like, well, if I keep her on this train of thought, that she won't want to not go. And I just, I guess part of me is just like, it reminded me like a darker version of 51st Dates, maybe. Maybe a little bit of The Vow. And I've never seen that. I just know what that movie's about. So it was, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the book. I was just kind of left with like, okay, okay. But I am thankful though that we didn't have to deal with Ruth gloating at the end of everything after the surgery, and I don't think I could have sat through that because I really, really disliked that woman. Yeah, the whole Coke can incident, especially later on when we find out that Seb knew everything that was going on, and he did that anyway. He needed his ass whooped. No, you did not. Oh my god. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, can we call that a dad joke? Oh my god. Oh, that was a good one. I was not expecting that at all. Nice. So, anyway, God, I feel totally flustered now. Moving on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading comments over here. Yeah, the up and down was, yeah. You got high points, and then you got low points, and then high and then low, and then it just kind of like teetered off. Okay, so like when I said earlier that I felt like her memories, those her memories of the accident were not her memories. I made a note here, and this was like when they were doing that whole the first night bonfire thing, and Theo's walking the line. And I made a note right then because I think her memories of that night are what someone told her. And then I didn't care for Beth a whole lot either. But I will say that despite all of that, all of the stuff that went on, I felt so, I'm not going to say bad. I was very saddened by Theo's situation, seeing things from his point of view. All the times he had to deal with her waking up believing she was somebody else. I don't know if I want to answer that question. Why do you want to know? So one quote or line that I had to mark as like, because it was nicely phrased, nicely worded. Theo is something out of a dream, half demon, half angel. He is a beautiful night terror, and I am haunted by the sight of him. There was something about that I was just like, that's nice. That's nice. I like those words. And then, the whole time he was doing that Theo was playing his cello, which I think he was the last act during their punishment. Yeah, the fact that she was putting her through all that rigorous training, and I guess another clue should have been that Ruth denied letting Sorrel go to Rachel's funeral. So that was like another thing once you kind of figure out what was going on. But anyway, when he was doing the requiem for her, which we find out later was supposed to be her funeral requiem, can't talk, requiem that he wrote. And I will say that once we knew what her issue was with the whole but then they gave it back, and I guess it's almost like they stayed for the money. Because they could have walked away at any time, but they'd have left without the money. They would not have gotten the money. And then, after everything is said and done, they just gave it back. And something else, in the beginning of the book, when we're seeing things from Sorrel's point of view, I was not in love with her character for a while, because I guess I could not wrap my mind around that amount of anger and hatred that she had for Theo. I just, I was like, but you are saying that you don't remember a lot about the accident. You're assuming that the bits and pieces of memory that you're getting is telling you the entire story. Yeah. I caught that one too. The first time I saw it, it's like, oh, that's Toussaint. And I hope I said that right. Even then. Because now you make me kind of doubt myself a little bit. I was like, am I saying that right? Sometimes that can be very aggravating. And I know a lot of authors will put pronunciations in their books for especially if it's words that they just kind of come up with, names of places or people or whatever. And I try to pronounce them like they've got it, and I can't. Sometimes I just can't. It's it's almost like the first time my mind reads it a certain way, then that's it. Even with the pronunciation guide, I'm just like, sorry, can't do it. Yeah, yeah, and there were several times I kind of had to maybe not step back, but kind of like maybe like try harder to see things from her point of view, and it it helped a little bit, but not a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, that was probably because I kind of felt like, yeah, I don't know what it was. I think in the beginning, my mood going into the book probably affected a lot too. So, yeah, that probably affected a lot of how I was um reading the book. And like I said, I was never a fan of Ruth the entire book at all. Gaynor, loved her the whole time. Loved her. I wasn't real sure how to take Principal forward for a little while. Um, Even after knowing, just how deeply involved she was. Now that little scene on the pier with her and Ruth, and then when Theo goes out there, you kind of, that they all know what's going on. And I kind of felt like with Theo charging out there on the pier like he was finna knock Ruth right off of the pier. Which, wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Toussaint. Yeah, I didn't think Ruth was a doctor either at first. Or even going. He called her a cowboy. And was basically, saying that she had been reckless. And for a brief moment in time, I had the thought like, oh my God, it's Theo Henry. And then of course, something happened before we found out who Henry was. There was something else that happened. I was like, no, that can't be right either. So here is somebody said a while ago that Ruth told Sorrel that Theo was the one responsible. So, and I really hate that the chapters weren't numbered. Anyway, it says, I know Theo was responsible for what happened. Ruth told me I gave a detailed account of what happened after the accident before all of my memories of that night disappeared on me. And I called bullshit immediately. I was like, see, those are not, all of those are not yours. And I think sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, that I think we all wanted Sorrel to be a bit more of a badass, especially after all that training that she had. We wanted to see her kick somebody's ass at some point. We didn't get that. We got to see Theo do it. That was about it. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. I wanted to see her do something to somebody. Oh my gosh, y'all! The movie night. Mm. So I don't know what kind of auditorium this school had, but I'm like, okay, you got a movie playing, so there's light of some sort, and I realize, you get a little bit of privacy sitting in those seats, but how far away? Yes, how far away were the other people? Where were the other people? In my mind, there was nobody else in this freaking auditorium. That's all I can tell y'all. But I'm just like, in reality, she wasn't whispering when she was talking to him. He wasn't whispering when he was talking to her. And then I have to remind myself, y'all, it's a book. It's a fictional book. Let these people do what they want to do, however they want to do it. And I'm sure something very similar has been done in reality. But Lord Jesus, that was an intense moment. And I liked the way that he kind of always left her at a loss for words. Like, wait. Okay, so like at the end of that scene, oh my gosh. Okay, when we got the New York memory from her point of view, oh my god. That that got me a little choked up. I will admit I got a little emotional with that because I was just like, that is the sweetest thing. And how he was so taken by surprise by her gift. I liked that scene. I liked that scene a lot. And I did actually get something right in this book. Not just close to right, but right. Because I think, yes, before the big reveal, I actually asked the question, could Sorrel have been driving? I didn't think, when I wrote that down, I didn't think I was going to be right. I didn't think, yeah. Here's another one I was right about, but didn't realize how right I was. I'm going to show. Can y'all read that? Far-fetched idea. Sorrel is Rachel. And then I talked myself out of that. The more I read, I was like, no, can't be. Look, I'm just now looking up, reading this comment. It's not hard to accomplish. Someone's got some first-hand knowledge. Then the whole thing with the tattoos, y'all. Is he scarred, or is there a tattoo he doesn't want her to see yet? That's... I think whenever he got to telling her about the tattoos, things kind of started clicking. Or, no, I'm not going to say clicking. Things kind of started getting closer to fitting together. We weren't all the way, but we were close. And I was like, why does he have her name twice? Or was it twice? Did he have her name twice? Well, all of them were her names. Sorrel, Rachel, Catherine. And was it Sorrel again? You know, the four-leaf clover, I had a theory about that, and I was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. I had thought, oh God, I don't know if I can find it fast enough, that maybe they had a child, or she had gotten pregnant, maybe lost it. See, and here's my note. Has she been all these people? Amelia. That was the other name I was looking for. Rachel, Amelia, Catherine, Sorrel. So it was the four names, and only Sorrel's name was there one time at the very top. Yes, that was for his grandfather. We found that later on. But when he first mentioned it but didn't elaborate on the meaning behind it, I was just like, oh my God. So I'm trying to find the note I made. So see, there's a note I made about what, and we touched on this earlier about none of this explains Ruth sending her to deal with Theo, or why so many people at school played along. And you know, it wasn't just the school. Some of the people in the town kind of knew what was going on too. And now I just forgot what note I'm looking for, y'all. Oh, here it is. He taps a little four-leaf clover on his right arm. That one was for someone else. So then I was like, oh my God, was Henry their child? Way off base. Way off base. See, and that's what that scene made me think. And maybe that was part of the reason why he didn't want to go into it just yet. About what that tattoo meant. But we do find that every tattoo he has, except for maybe that 4-leaf clover, has something to do with sorrel. Yeah, I just found all the names because I was like, there were 4 names. There were 4. Thank you. Yes. And I think there were so many moments, like the moments when she was kind of like realizing all that he had been through with dealing with her since the accident. And not that I was happy that she was feeling guilty or anything like that, but I think it was more that I was glad that she was realizing that he had no intentions of hurting her, of deserting her, of walking away. But it was still sad that he was so, even in the moments when he's trying to help her understand what's going on, there is so much anguish coming from him. And it's just, oh, it breaks my heart. And you know, when he references this song, "I'm Blue" by Eiffel 65, and once again, it's in my head. When I read it the first time, that song started in my head immediately, and now, again with that song. So I feel his misery. I feel his misery when he's talking about how he hates that song. But then after we realized, or we're told, we find out about, yeah, I didn't like that either, because out of all the people there, even the Beth and Ashley knew what was going on. Laney was still the one. Laney, she was still the one who continued to be a true friend to her. So yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that she never actually apologized. And I will say, I am quite thankful that we didn't have to spend a whole lot of time in the presence of their mother. You know, I don't know. Now that you mention that, I don't know why they called their mother by her first name, because I don't think it really explained it. She just really sounded like uh a witch, ice queen. She sounded cold, and like she maybe felt like she was better than everybody. See, I done flipped to a page where he's talking about good girl. Mm. I cannot tell a lie. Those scenes were hot as heck. Those scenes were hot. But yeah, after we found out about the head injury and, all of the stuff that's happened, all the times that they've had to like start over, um I spent the rest of this book like with this knot in my stomach, just really praying that they weren't fixed to send her over the edge again. Every time she got a headache, every time she got to talk about rubbing her temples, I was just like, oh God, no, 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 no. So yeah, and that was a good bit of the book. Look, I had to finish this with that knot in my stomach, really hoping that and there's a note. I said, I feel so bad for him and I'm so nervous. I did feel I didn't forgive him about the whole Coke can thing, but I was glad that he, even though it had to be at Theo's insistence, y'all, I'm an idiot. I just see the damn chapter numbers on this page. I'm I promise I'm a functioning adult on a daily basis. Really, I am. Moving on. Even though Theo had to tell Seb to go apologize, I was glad that he did. Because he did, while trying to apologize, reinforce the fact that um Theo was madly in love with her. And I think he's the one that said she was his true north, that Sorrel was Theo's true north. And that's what the tattoos of the compasses were about. I thought maybe a tumor too. I thought maybe a tumor. You know, and then she got talking about how she had all these people waiting. The only thing I could figure about how quickly Ruth got her in the OR, because it could only have been a few hours at the most. I mean, and like he said, did she actually take the time to do new scans? You know, how quickly did we rush prep? I mean, you about to go inside somebody's head, and you have already lost one patient on the table doing this kind of thing, and now we're rushing to get it done to try to keep Theo from stopping you. So I don't know. It did happen rather quickly, and I was. And see, then when Theo's talking to Sorrel about the surgery, when Seb let it slip, and I was asking then, when are we going to get Ruth's part explained? And then that's when we find out about Henry as well, who Henry actually is. And Theo makes no effort at all to disguise or hide his dislike, is probably a nice way of putting it, of Ruth. So, and then, bless his heart, when he's trying to rush to the hospital, yeah, that scene, bless his heart, him waking up and realizing that she's gone, and then when he reads the text, that whole scene, him trying to get there, I felt sick. I really did. I was like, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Something bad's gonna happen. And then she had the gall to leave this hospital while this child is still in a coma. I mean, if nothing else, you could have went out a different door. You didn't have to walk by this man in the agony that he's in. You know, like, you got somewhere more important you need to be, which is basically what she said. And another thing, that kind of endeared Gaynor throughout this whole story, she was right there that entire time. The whole time that Theo was there, Gaynor was there. And I was just like, I've got an image of her in my mind, but I cannot for the life of me figure out where I know this person from. I don't know if it's somebody that I saw on TV. I don't know if it's somebody that I saw, I don't know, at Walmart. I don't know. But I picture her grandmotherly type. That's kind of how I picture Gaynor. And I thought the little interaction with Father Simmons at the hospital church was sweet. And I even made a comment. I'm not sure hate is a strong enough word right now, talking about Ruth. That scene made me very angry. Because I could almost, I mean, you can kind of feel Theo's desperation, his agony, the pain he's going through. Mm. All right, so yeah, so she has the surgery, she makes it through, and then it's like in the epilogue, they apparently, once she's out of the hospital, they feel the need to christen every square inch of the school. Now, I was okay with that. And I think that note from her mother It's almost like her mama knew, which her mother basically says she had a good feeling about Sorrel and Theo. But I was kind of surprised that his mother actually gave him this stuff. That she gave him the notebook, that she gave him the ring. I was really shocked that she did that, because I figured she would have, set it aside, forgotten all about it, something like that. Well, I guess not. But yeah, I didn't read this bonus content part, which I don't think had anything to do with the story itself. I think this was something different, but it was a lot of bonus content. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't a bad read. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I did feel kind of like I said, it left me wanting. I wanted more at the end, I guess. So, yeah. The letter was very sweet. So yeah. That was September's book. So I'm thinking maybe for October, maybe darker, like with a theme kind of thing. You might see some, maybe, I don't know, some monster romances in there. I'm a huge fan of Dark Mafia. Um, it, but yeah, gonna do some digging. And as I always say, if y'all see anything, if you know of anything, please let me know. Uh, there were definitely a lot of unanswered questions. Yeah. Love a good alcohol. So many innuendos. Let it go, Tammy. Let it go. All right, y'all. Yeah. We'll look for something darker to fit into the month of October. Yeah. I don't really have anything in mind right now. I'll probably start, you know, doing more research as we draw to the end of this month. Like I said, I hate that the original post for the book club T-shirts didn't do so well. I may try to. Vampires would be good. I actually saw one today on my Kindle. You may like this thing. I didn't read the blurb on it, but I might throw that in there because knowing the author does really good work, I think it would probably be a good book. Ooh. I have thought that many times. I have thought about writing a book myself many times. I actually know someone who's in the process, not calling any names, but you know who you are. But yeah, we'll get book club, October book club recommendations. I don't have a calendar. We'll get those up. Usual time frame, y'all. A couple weeks probably. I'll think more on redoing the thing for the t-shirts. maybe try to figure out a better way to get that info to y'all. I don't know. I have to think on that one. Excuse me, madam. Go lay down. Go lay down. I think somebody needs to go out. Go OUT. But, so yeah, guys, that's all I've got. We shall see y'all here next time. Y'all have a wonderful night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good night.